If you have a budget of around £40 for a phone, what kind of phone would you expect? One of these? Or perhaps something like this? Well, what if I could tell you that you can get a fully fledged smartphone with a quad-core processor, and no, I'm not talking about some unbranded Chinese phone with an unresponsive resistive touchscreen. Introducing the Nokia Lumia 530. Nokia have launched this phone with a starting price as cheap as £35 depending on the retailer you buy it from. So what does £35 worth of smartphone get you? Well, actually a lot more than you think. So let's get started with a review. In the box you get most of the usual bits such as a charger, battery and quick start guide. In this case there isn't a separate USB cable or earphones, but this is all in aid of keeping the costs down. So as we look around the phone you can see I opted for the very vivid yellow, but if this isn't to your taste, it does come in also green, orange, black and white. Either way, the front of the phone is always black, and if you think you've made the mistake with the colour option, then don't worry, as the backs are completely replaceable. So looking at the front of the phone, you can see the 4-inch display, which has a resolution of 480 by 854, which gives you a pixel density of 245 ppi. This is actually its weakest point as the resolution is pretty low, and being a TFT panel, the viewing angles are pretty poor. But despite that, as long as you're looking at the phone head on, the colours really pop. As we take a tour around the phone, you can see the 3.5mm headphone jack, which is located on the top, and on the right hand side you can see the volume rocker button with the lock power key just below it. The bottom of the phone is where you'll find the charger port, which is the universal micro USB, and finally on the back is where you'll find the 5MP camera and a hole for the loudspeaker. Don't expect the phone to be sluggish either, because the combination of the 1.2 GHz quad-core Snapdragon processor and the well-optimized Windows Phone 8.1 operating system gives this phone a buttery smooth feel. This is reflected in everyday tasks such as web browsing. In my testing, it was able to cope with even extremely content-rich websites where even some of the best smartphones can get choked up. But the Lumia 530 was able to chew through it all with little to no lag or stutter. Pinch to zoom worked well and rendering was fast and prompt. But if you really want to max out the processor, you'll have to put it to the test with media streaming and gaming. Let's start with media streaming. One of my favourite YouTube apps is YouTube HD. It gives you the ability to stream videos in low quality, high quality and HD. The Lumia 530 is able to stream up to high quality without a problem. But as soon as you crank it up to HD quality, this is where you start seeing some of the limitations of the phone. It misses frames and stutters and causes the app to crash from time to time. Bearing in mind that the display is only 480p, there isn't actually any need to go up to HD quality anyway. Windows Phone has plenty of video streaming options available, including some of the biggest such as Netflix, and it's able to stream movies in great quality with absolutely no sign of the phone struggling. Along with video streaming apps, there are also plenty of music streaming ones such as Spotify and Nokia's own Mix Radio, which is very similar to Spotify, giving you the ability to stream music for free. A big downside of playing any of the audio out of the phone is the small loudspeaker port located on the back. As soon as you cover it up, which is very easy to do, almost all sound is blocked. The chances are though you most likely have a set of headphones or earphones which work much better and actually gives you a decent sound. If you're even remotely interested in playing media offline, such as watching movies, listening to music on a plane or train, you'll definitely need to upgrade the memory. The Lumia 530 only has 4GB internal memory, which soon fills up, but you can put a massive 128GB memory card in there. Also, a massive plus to the Windows Phone OS is that you can install apps straight to the SD card, giving you the ability to have as many apps and games as you like. Which brings me on to the gaming performance. The Adreno 302 GPU gives the 530 great gaming performance. As to be expected, it copes with less demanding games such as Angry Birds, etc. But even if you really start pushing it with 3D games such as Minion Rush, Asphalt 8 and even The Sims, it copes very well and only misses a frame or two every so often, which didn't happen enough for it to affect the gameplay. The only thing that might frustrate you is the loading times of when you first launch the game. Let's talk camera. Despite this being a Nokia camera, don't expect flagship performance. It only houses a 5 megapixel camera with fixed focus and no front facing camera. It is still perfectly capable and acceptable for sharing social networking sites such as Facebook and Instagram. But don't be fooled, this will not replace your holiday camera. It doesn't shoot HD either, but a wide 480p instead, but thankfully still at 30 frames per second, which makes it ideal for sharing. So hopefully that video is coming across okay. I'm recording it on the Lumia 530, so this is just a sound sample clip. This room is quite empty at the moment, so there might be a bit of echo going on as well. The walls are pure white, but the two 500 watt bulbs I'm using aren't. They're more of a warmer temperature, so it might be coming out a little bit yellow. But yeah, this is this audio and video sample. On the flip side of the coin, this is a Nokia camera, so you do have the ability to take control. You can manually adjust the exposure, white balance, ISO and even shutter speed. The ability to adjust these settings means you can get great results. Pair it up with the Gorilla Pod, reduce the shutter speed to 1 second and turn the ISO sensitivity right down to really clean up the image of noise. Another thing I want to talk about is the excellent sat-nav provided by HereDrive. You have the ability to save all the maps offline onto the SD card, which means it's fully fledged 3D sat-nav with turn-by-turn voice navigation. There really isn't anything bad to say about this feature. I find it more accurate and more up to date than even Google Maps and Apple Maps. As soon as it gets dark, it changes the navigation theme to night mode. Well, this phone has come a long way in the last few years and it is a true contender for Google and Apple. All the apps which used to be missing are mostly there now, with over 250,000 apps. There's still a wide variety to choose from. So, if you're after value for money, then there are a few devices out there which offer half of what the Lumia 530 does for under £100. And let's not forget, this phone can be found for £35.